Hey everyone, it's Denise. It is June 22nd, 2026. This is the continuation of the Declaration, Part 4. This is Part 3D, and today is God's physical calendar 4/4, God's spiritual calendar 10/4, and God's true Gregorian 1/7. And I hope everyone had a nice Father's Day, all the fathers out there. First and foremost, I always want to confess that Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior forever and always. I believe that God came down in the flesh as Jesus Christ. He suffered and died on the cross and rose on the third day. Okay, so let's get started with this part. Let's go. It says, I flipped many tables with many of you, drawing attention to the wicked heathens and the stone throwers. Lots of those out there. The people who are truly under the law, blaspheming my name. Did you think my anointed ones were full of anger and retaliation, speaking those words to you? No, they had nothing against you. You had everything against them. And when were you going to understand that I make my prophets do outrageous things to test people's hearts? Not just with them, but with all of you. That is so true. I have tested your true faith and obedience to the max, and all of my children were put in compromising positions at some point to test their faith, whether it was in this realm or other realms. All of my people chosen from the beginning, I have put them in compromising, uncomfortable situations, and all of you have survived the great faith of testing, of trials, and tribulations, including all of my elders, not just my 12, including Natasha and McKenna, when I staged the soulmate switcheroos and spoken marriages by voice frequencies. I had McKenna put out her personal information about her current living situation, putting it out there to make her plunge in the unknowing. Also testing her true faith and obedience, knowing many of the religious spirits would come after her. All the ones speaking online made you all put out every detail, every mystery that I have given you, even though it would contradict previous teachings that many of you were taught in church, and my believers who were taught in church or by a former pastor who wasn't ordained by me before receiving the mystery spoken from me and given by me to my elders and my 12. For instance, Vashti. She had to go against her own family, speaking my truths, coercing them to get them away from being under the law. Ashlyn wasn't online, but she also had to go against her family with recent events, explaining to them what was going on, even while being somewhat confused herself. Many of you, I've set you up for testing like this. Previously, I just spoke on Cassie and how she had to step out in faith with her cancer treatments, even though I have already healed her. I forced her by her love for me and her own free will to go through the motions and take the chemo treatments and lose her hair and then be vulnerable to the world, showing the world and speaking on her own personal experience and trauma. She was brave in showing me her faith and dedication to saving my children as my warrior at the moment, for showing her true self on camera to wake up my children. My 3, Kathy, Lori, Matthew, they went through trials and testings their whole lives. I put them through the ringer many times, and they never turned on me. They have always stayed faithful to me, no matter what the world said against them. Lori has been with her soulmate for a long time, who is also Matthew in different suits. I know I am so clever, aren't I? So yes, Lori, your prayers are answered. You get to keep your husband. Lori also has been tested to the max, and just like all of you, Lori has also had to cleanse her heart and truly succumbed to my will. She had an issue of waiting for me to take action. She used to always take action herself, with many times sent her own down the wrong path. But now she has grown and seasoned and ready to take on any battle. Matthew. He truly walked away from the world just to follow me. He listened to my voice and he let me guide him. And he never strayed even when the world around him thought he was crazy. He had to challenge the elite. And even though he knew they were coming after him, he never faltered. He never swayed. He had many financial issues, and there were many times where he didn't know how he was going to go on. But he looked at me he looked at me as his provider. And of course, I always provide for my children and take care of them while teaching them lessons along the way. McKenna, I have never let her work. I had taken many things away from her, car, and sometimes she just wanted to get away from Jeremy and have time with the kids and have time with herself. It was unbearable at times for her, but no matter what she held on strong to my voice and held on to the promises that I had for her. And even though I took everything away from her, I always made sure she always had everything she needed. She never doubted. She had faith. I always provided every single time people came against her for not getting a job. She stood strong up against them with her faith. She never faltered. She never doubted. She always held true to my word that her job for me was worthy and true. Kathy, she was true to my voice no matter what obstacle I put in front of her. And as you can see, she has the love of any man's heart. She truly is a warrior queen. And not only did she play the role of Beatrice, of the Heavenly Mother in the flesh, she also played what it's like to truly love one another when they were down, like a grandmother would in any scenario for their grandchild. Kathy, your soul awaits you, and your long suffering of your marriage is over. You held true to yourself, and you will forever be known in the group as the sweet, sanguine Kathy, who poured her love out on top with a cherry and spice and was there for everyone, no matter if they were in the wrong or right. She held on to the brokenhearted. She held them close to her heart, and she never let them go, even though she was always the brokenhearted. She always reached out and made everyone feel needed. She will always be the grandma, the Heavenly Mother Beatrice in the flesh to the group. When your memories come back, they will for all of you. You will all remember each other from your past realms up until these moments now. You all will remember each other like you have always remembered one another. You will all get all of your memories back and know exactly who you were before I changed your spirit. Stick around for part 4, part 3E. All right, you guys. If you don't know Jesus, now's the time. Come to his feet, and he is waiting for you with open arms. He loves you so much. Don't wait. Time's a ticking. Tick tock, tick tock. So just come to him. He will wipe the slate clean. He's already done it. He fulfilled it on the cross. That is once saved, always saved. That is the gift of salvation. Nobody can take it from you. No one. And you just ask him to come into your heart, and he will change your heart of flesh to from the stony heart that you have. And he loves you so much. Then after you have salvation, then you can start on the wineskin process. And that is basically just purging all your pain and trauma that you've been through, all the trials and tribulations. And you just give it to him. Cast your burdens upon him, for his yoke is easy. That is scriptural. All right, you guys, God bless. Have an amazing Monday. Love y'all. Ciao.